You ask your 2-year-old to put on their shoes, the shoes they picked out, the shoes they begged for at the store 3 days ago. You ask once, gently. They turn, look you dead in the eye and say, no. No explanation, no negotiation, just no. With the full conviction of someone who has never once been wrong. And you think, what is happening here? But here is the thing. That no is not defiance. It is one of the most important words your child will ever say. And understanding exactly why changes how you hear every single one of them. If you are exhausted by the word no right now, I want you to hear this first. You are not doing it wrong. The toddler no phase is one of the most universally described and most misunderstood parts of early childhood. Parents describe it as a power struggle, as willfulness, sometimes even as early signs of a difficult personality. The developmental science says something very different. The psychologist Erik Erikson, whose framework on childhood stages has shaped developmental psychology for more than 70 years, identified the toddler years, roughly 18 months to 3 years, as a stage of autonomy versus shame and doubt. In plain terms, a small person is discovering for the very first time that they are a separate self with a will of their own. And no is the word that proves it. That no is your child announcing their existence as a person, not testing you, not manipulating you, discovering themselves. Erikson described the whole developmental job of the toddler as practicing autonomy, not performing it, not demonstrating it, practicing, which means trying, failing, asserting, testing, and trying again. The word no is their primary tool for this practice. Every single no is a 2-year-old's brain saying, I am a person, I have a will. Watch what I can make happen. The problem, and this is the part that makes toddlerhood so uniquely exhausting, is that the brain doing the asserting has absolutely no brakes. The part of the brain responsible for impulse control, emotional regulation, and rational decision-making is the prefrontal cortex. In a toddler, that system is barely installed. Researchers estimate it isn't fully developed until the mid to late 20s. So what you are watching every single day is a tiny person practicing enormous autonomy with no self-control whatsoever. The will runs ahead of the brain. The feeling outpaces the thought. That is not a character flaw. That is exactly what this stage is supposed to look like. But Erikson's model has a second half that most parenting conversations skip. When a toddler's attempts at autonomy are consistently met with force, ridicule, or control, when the no is always crushed, the child moves through this stage into doubt. They learn that their will does not work, that asserting a self is dangerous, and that the safe choice is to shrink. That is the shame and doubt outcome Erikson warned about. The goal is not to give the toddler everything they want. The goal is to let the no land somewhere real enough that they know they are a person. But here is what most parents don't realize. How you respond to this no period quietly shapes how your child relates to their own will, to authority, and to cooperation for years to come. Developmental researchers who study autonomy scaffolding have found something that genuinely surprises most parents. Children who are given some structured choice during this stage, not unlimited freedom, but two real options that both work for the parent, have fewer daily battles, move through the no phase more smoothly, and emerge with stronger self-confidence and cooperation skills than children in highly controlled environments. Think of it this way. A toddler's brain needs to register that their will works, that when they want something and reach for it, something happens. When everything in their environment is decided for them, the developmental pressure to assert a self has nowhere to go. And so it escalates. More no, more physical pushing, more screaming. Not because the child is difficult, but because the drive is real and it cannot find an outlet. When you give a structured choice, do you want the blue cup or the red cup? Something shifts in that brain. It registers. My will works. I matter. That is the beginning of real cooperation, not the end of it. The toddler who gets to practice having a will in small, safe moments is the toddler who eventually cooperates because they believe that asking works. So what does this actually look like when you're standing in the hallway with 10 minutes before school? One strategy, not a list. One, when you hit a no, instead of repeating the request louder or turning it into a standoff, offer two options that both work for you. Do you want to put your shoes on yourself, or do you want my help? The content of the choice matters less than the structure. Your toddler's brain gets to register that their will made something happen. They chose, and the world responded. This won't end every no. Some days the developmental pressure is simply too high, and the only thing to do is stay calm, hold the limit warmly, and repair after. But reasonably consistent limited choices reduce the volume and frequency of the battle enough that both of you come out of the morning less depleted. That is not magic. That is developmental fit, matching what you ask to what the brain actually needs. Let's bring it home. The toddler no is Erikson's autonomy stage in action, a developmental job, not a character flaw. The will runs ahead of the brain because the prefrontal cortex is decades from finished. Responding with force or shame doesn't teach cooperation. It teaches the child that their will does not matter. And that is Erikson's shame and doubt outcome. Structured choice, two options, both of which work for you, lets the toddler's brain register that their will is real, which actually opens the door to cooperation. Back to those shoes. Next time you hear no about the shoes they picked out, you can hear it a little differently. That is your child practicing being a person. This is general education, not medical advice. Every child develops differently, and if the no phase feels extreme or is affecting daily life significantly, talk to your pediatrician. This is the first episode of Why Kids Do That, a series that takes the most confusing toddler and child behaviors and shows you exactly what's happening underneath, because the behavior is never random. Next episode, why does your child hit, bite, or throw things? And what is it actually trying to say? Subscribe so you're there when it drops. I'll see you then.